What is up, people, and welcome back to the channel. Right, so today on the Z car, we've got some bits, got some parts have come in, and on the vacuum side of the thing, I put some hose. This is 10mm fuel hose. I've done this to keep the volume big inside, because you need a decent volume as well as vacuum. Because if this is too small, it will take too long. It's basically like sucking through a really small straw. It's already going to be creating too much vacuum. So, 10mm, I heated it up, press fit. That's heated and press fitted. And this one I had to clamp because it was just under size coming out of here. We have put a 30 amp fuse relay here. So when it becomes to be wired up, it will be wired directly into its own 30 amp fuse relay. And then when the mini loom is in, the fuse box will be here. That's where it will get its power and its ignition feed from. Yeah? So that's nice and simple. Simple pimple. And we've got some parts. This one has got coiled cable inside. So we are guessing it's from Cable Tech Limited. Now, I got passed these by a chap who used to work for Z-Car, who now works for Cable Tech, who actually built the cables for Z-Cars. So he said to me, he said, I probably built that cable. So he sort of knew the geometries of them. So if you need a cable for a Z-Car, Cable Tech is the place to be. So let's open it. Oh, and this one is from Owen's Fabrication. Yeah, they're the ones I get the ball joint droppers, steering rack mounts and stuff like that from. Right, let's open it up, shall we? Miss that one. Nuts and bolts. Some parts. Ta-da! Look at that. Now that is £115. Yeah, so it's not cheap, but it is a nice bit of kit, and we needed it, so I just ordered it. And I slightly changed the dimensions of it as well. Yeah, so this one is now a touch shorter because I weren't happy with how much slack we had under the car. And the rose joints should fit. They're not M6, they're the other ones. There we go. New nuts. So what I'll do with this is I'll keep these nuts. Keep these and then just scrap the rest. I'll do it later. I'll keep the hardware off this and then just bin it. There we go. So we've got gears now. Next, ta-da! Don't know how this box opens. That'll do. Right, so we ordered the ball joint droppers for this car, but I ordered 2 sets because I'm going to have another one in. If not, they'll just sit on the shelf. And I also ordered another one of his. Whoever watched the last Z car I did, I put one of these steering column mounts on. Bracket things. Yeah? Well, I ordered another one. Just to put on the shelf. Just in case of something. I just liked it. So I thought, I'll get another one, put it on the shelf. Don't actually need it. But they're such a nice piece of kit. I was like, yeah. I'll have another one. But now, at least we can fit the ball joint droppers. Get the front suspension finished on this car. And then gear cable. And then that's it, really. I'm just waiting for the dashboard pod to come. Really, I shouldn't have opened this so aggressively. So I can put that back in. Yeah, you do. So yeah, spares. So we've got gear cable and a set of these to fit. Simple, pimple job. Oh yeah, I forgot to add. Can you see how much higher the cable is than it was before? Before it was the lowest point. Now it's tucked up nice and safe. Right then, I just sped my way through that because you will watch me take the cable off. It's just reinstalling it, basically. But what I have changed is this. It's what goes on the gearbox to select the gears. It's a little bit long, so I put one on that's centre to centre. It's about 10 mil shorter because the gear shift was still too long for a sequential, if you know what I mean. I've got shit everywhere. Yeah. Right, I'll show you now. I'm still covered in shit, but I'll show you. So, now, we're slightly leaning back, look. Now, that's mainly for the main purpose of the actual gear thing. I'll show you. See there? You see how it's at 90 degrees with the cable? That is about where you want it, yeah? You don't want it too far forward or too far back. Ideally, you want it to run at about 90 degrees. Like that. Yeah? So to get that, the gear stick does sit slightly back. But he's a long lad anyway. So it might work out in his benefit. And with it being right next to the indicator, you know what I mean? But that's the shift now. So, yeah, that's it. So it's not a bad shift. Yeah. No idea what gear it's in there. It's about neutral. Okay, maybe it's not. But anyway, what I'll do now is we'll drop it down. Just we need to get the fronts in the air to get these ball joint droppers on. Now, I have already done a video in the past on the ball joint droppers. Sure I have. On how to set your ball joints up and stuff. So I'll probably do I not? Do I? Well, actually, what I'll do for you boys and girls is we'll get it down on the floor and we'll measure the springs and the shock positioning, right? So we'll measure how much we've got compressed on the springs. So once the ball joints are dropped, we can still see that that is the same. But then we'll take a measurement from the top shock bolt to the bottom shock bolt, because that's where these are going to make a difference. Because at the minute, when this is up in the air, the springs are loose, right? The suspension on this is controlled by the bottom arm, because the shock attaches to the bottom arm. So when we're pushing this bottom arm down, we are extending the shock. So that means we can bring the bottom jam nut for the coilover up, which then will take the shock out. Just play it. I'm going to show you. Right, I'll get this down and I'll show you. Right, we've got it down. But what I've decided is that's going to be in the next video, because it's going to be quite long-winded, because we're going to have to strip it all down, take the ball joints off, then we're going to have to look at ride heights, so then we can get it back to the same sort of ride height. So, and then we've got to strip the hubs down, put the ball joints in. So that will be in the next video. So this video is basically unboxing a few parts, you watching me put a gear cable in, me showing you the difference that the gear cable has made, changing the gear selector linkage thing for a slightly shorter one, which gives you a slightly shorter throw. Positioning, I've said, see, for me to get that gear stick up square, I would have to have rotated the gear selector part back towards the back of the car. And if you noticed, it was already 1 or 2 teeth back. So it would have gone even more. So when you are pushing on the stick to downshift, instead of it moving like that, it would have been moving more down, if you understand what I mean. That's why you really want to get that at quite 90 degrees. Right then, so did you see my beanie, by the way? I've got a few different colours. Just testing it. I've had this on all day, made as an itch or nothing. And I've had this hoodie on all day, to be honest. I took it to work. It's -4 this morning. No. -3.5. Right then. So, these hoodies, Jesus Christ. These hats are going to be for sale soon as well. I just need to work out all this website bollocks, because I'm spanners and hammers, not keyboards and mouses, definitely. Right then, that's about it. Next video, we're going to be ball joint droppers and explaining how they do what they do. They help the Z car out with its shock issue, but they're also called roll centers, so we'll get into that as well. Right then, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. See you later, people.